No way.
Who's gonna say it right? Come on.
Actually, I've been saying that name too much recently. I just accidentally slipped and called your colleague.
Laura? Did you call Laura Azita?
Yes.
I hope you didn't call Lauren Azita.
I did. The name just slipped out. Somebody did a Jedi mind trick on me.
It was me from the other table. I was like, think of me only.
Ghanizada.
Yes! Very well done. Azita Ghanizada. I play Rachel Verzon on Alphas.
Here we go.
Here we go.
So the new season, I mean, you have a new showrunner. So is it going to be different than the season 2? Are we going to have a different vibe, do you think? Or different pacing, different feel?
You know, a lot of things. There's a lot of ways to answer that, Michael, because
I know.
I think it's definitely different with the new showrunner. It's definitely a more serialized show. I think that what happens in the first episode, which is what maybe everybody's seen or not seen, is the show is extremely glossy and epic in its first premiere, and it's a lot of, you know, what's going on, how we get Dr. Rosen back into the real world, and how we get the team together, and what the big story is that we're fighting. And it kind of sets up what we do for the entire season. But honestly, the shows after the premiere really deal with the human drama. They really kind of deal with what we deal with as superhumans with these disabilities, or I guess abilities, that kind of make us feel awkward or socially out of place and whatnot. And you kind of see them come around it in this different way. And the show has been different. We've had really cool guest stars, really cool alphas of the week, really interesting abilities, really sweet people coming in to play them, like Sean Astin and Lauren Holly. He's not an alpha, but definitely is a very fantastic character. And Summer Glau again. So, yeah, it's definitely different. I hear the episodes are a bit sharper and a bit tighter this year. So, we'll see. Rachel goes on some fun journeys. She gets a boyfriend.
Oh,
Rachel!
hey. That's awesome.
Yeah, that's always been her problem. So it's nice to kind of put that to bed.
Did you yell Rudy at all when you saw Rudy?
No, I mean, I did. I'm friends with Dominic Monaghan. I was like, oh, I know Dominic Monaghan. He's like, who? I was like, oh, he was terrific. He just watched most of the episode, and he has 3 kids, so he came over and was like, I have daughters, and when you told your dad that he had cancer, I like teared up. I was like, oh my god, if my kids are, and I was like, oh my gosh, really an amazing person.
That's awesome.
Your character can heighten any one sense at a time.
Yeah.
Now, if you could pick a sense that you could heighten, which one would you?
I mean, obviously, you want to say taste, because then everything would taste amazing, right? But I like my taste buds is the way they are. So maybe super sight, because I'm kind of day blind, like I'm kind of far away blind, so I can't really see. And it's funny because I don't wear my contacts on the show, because they shoot the inside of my eye all the time, and then it would be weird if I had super sight, but you see my contacts. Alright, that's the smart thing to do, is to not wear your contacts, so then I'm just really blind all the time, and I'm like, hey, what is that? Who's that? Oh, hey, it's Malik! Like, no, I don't know. So maybe I would take super senses, but you know, there are other abilities that I would like to have if I could have super abilities, so.
As the show continues on, you get all these other characters on, and they keep coming up with different abilities and stuff like that. Have you other abilities that you've seen? You go, oh, that would be.
You know, not other abilities. Other abilities that really come into play have been a bit dangerous. And the way that they're utilized are dangerous and a bit scary. And that's kind of wild. Somebody has kindness. Somebody created something that. There's an episode where there's an alpha that they can kind of like, I don't know how much I'm giving away, but their blood samples, essentially, if somebody drinks their blood or eats their blood, you develop like a Kevlar skin, right? So it forms chitinous. So, you know, Rachel talks about science all the time, so I was trying to make chitinous sound really sexy. And I'm like, scleroderma, no, chitinous, like whatever. But that was really cool that you could like do this, and then you would be essentially indestructible. Dangerous. Because it's like, you know, it's like a drug. Like, what do people do with that when they become indestructible? It's like somebody doing drugs and thinking that they can, you know, jump off a building and then realizing that they can't. So the abilities have been scary. And then, you know, somebody who doesn't have any of their own memory but can be somebody else's journal. That's been really cool. You kind of see the way they kind of build the science. And of course they take liberties with the science. You know, it's not going to be dead on the nose, like based on, you know, it's not going to be completely real. But that stuff's been really cool to see how they come up with that stuff.
Is it a particular challenge with this type of dialogue to familiarize yourself with the science side of things?
You know, I think I'm okay with it which is why they give a lot of it to me. Because sometimes I'm like, no more exposition, like, because Rachel's become a bit a boy crazy Stacy this season, because now that she knows how to have a boyfriend, she's like, oh, boy crazy Stacy, and science. So I try to get around it by making it as fun and interesting to her as possible, and I think there's some elements to the science that are really fascinating. Like, I was watching this TED thing about a cockroach being disabled and being made into a beatbox. You know, like, did you see that, where you can like send these neurotransmitters the way the brain works? So stuff like that is really exciting, and being able to explain it to an audience kind of excites me. So I can have fun with it, and that's the way to make it fun, is actually get excited by the science. Otherwise, you're just doing a bunch of exposition. It's like, oh, I went down this and went right to the point. You have to make it exciting, or else it just becomes another show with a bunch of information, and then it's not the show we want to do. We want to do a show that's a bit more, you know, it gives you information, gives you human drama, gives you action, gives you special effects, and like gives that all to you in 42 minutes. Thank you so much.
Good seeing you.